Okay, so if you look at dinosaurs, like especially like the T-Rexes, the raptors, if you look at the body shape, it's very similar to a bird. I mean, that's where in modern day nature we see this kind of body shape in birds that fly. The head's out in front, which again makes sense for a creature that flies. It's kind of like a very obvious similarity. And again, when you look at like T-Rex and whatnot, and you've got like the tiny little arms, like that doesn't make like any sense whatsoever. There's no like logical use for such tiny, disproportionate arms. Plus, like the angled body, it seems totally off balance. They need this huge tail to kind of balance out. Again, similar to birds, like lots of dinosaurs had like hollow bones. They also had like air sacs, which is kind of like basically like pockets of air within the body. Now there's lots of kind of explanations for why they maybe had these air sacs. People think it's about, respiration, cooling, balance. But like the most logical purpose for having these air sacs is to lower the density of the animal. Again, it makes sense that birds have like air sacs and hollow bones because they're creatures that fly. It just makes sense that would be the case. It stands to reason there must be a lot of fakery, because whenever you have a market for something, you always get fakery. Like if you have a market for Picassos, you're going to get people faking Picassos. If you have a market for cigarettes, you're going to get like black market cigarettes. I mean, it's just kind of the law of economics. So if you have this huge market for bones, and a dinosaur bone is more attractive than a rank and file bird bone or whatever, then there's going to be a market for fakery or like deliberate misrepresentation. And there's also like the human impulse to find what we want to find rather than what we actually do find. People want to believe in dinosaurs. I mean, again, like the dinosaur, it's seen as like this very like rational scientific thing, but it fills the same void in the psyche as the dragon. It's almost an identical motif. As a child, it's very hard to distinguish between like dragons and dinosaurs when you first kind of introduced to those concepts. They look so similar. Such a similar, like, in fact, like the only real kind of visual difference between a dragon and like say a T-Rex is like the lack of wings, which again is like, given the bird-like shape of the T-Rex, it's kind of quite funny. We had this myth of dragons, and then it's like we destroyed the myth, but then we kind of had to replace it with another dragon myth, but more suitable for the post-enlightenment world, so to speak. It's like if you're an adult and you say, I believe in dragons, people think you're crazy or whatever. But if you say, I believe in pterodactyls, it's like, oh, well done, you're educated. It's a weird thing. It's such a similar concept. Even a child can see the similarities. And again, going back to the bird, you've got the hollow bones, the angle of the body, the shape, the air sacs. It's it's so like, I mean, they've even obviously like found dinosaurs that look like they would have been feathered. So it's I mean, if you can kind of look at it, I guess in three kind of ways, you can kind of see the orthodox, like, you believe in all these various dinosaurs that mainstream science tells us existed. Or you can take the more mundane approach and just say it's these kind of variations on the bird species, and things have just got a bit confused. Or you can kind of go the magical route and say maybe these dinosaurs were real, but maybe they had wings, and for whatever reason, maybe the wings haven't survived as well, because the wings are maybe made of, I don't know, cartilage or whatever that hasn't survived as well.